Hi, welcome to What's Cooking with Rochelle. And today we are going to make Nashville Hot Chicken. We're going to make it a little healthier way. We're not going to be deep frying it, but we are going to do some of the traditional things that make it a Nashville Hot Chicken. So the first thing we're going to do is brine our chicken. So I am using boneless chicken breasts. You absolutely could do this with a whole fryer that you cut up, just dark meat, whatever kind of parts of the chicken you prefer, you could do it with that. But we're gonna do boneless chicken, and we're gonna make it so that this is faster because fast is better. So we are going to be brining for about an hour. And the reason we only need to brine for that long is because we are going to be pounding the chicken to make it a little thinner, which will make it cook faster and brine faster. So I am doing about 3 to 4 pounds of chicken. So I have 3 chicken breasts here. And what I'm going to do first is, you know when you buy the chicken breasts from the store and they're already cut, there's still like this stuff there, right? And that isn't so good to eat. So we are going to be removing some of this stuff because we don't need it. Now, if you don't want to take the time to do that, that's fine. You don't have to. It just makes it so you never get that bite where you've got like, I don't know, like a gristle type taste. So you can see that literally took just a couple of seconds. And this one's pretty much done. I'm gonna get in here just a little bit more on that seam. Again, if you don't wanna do that, you don't have to do that. But I am gonna do these real fast here for us and show you it doesn't have to take very long at all. But it just makes it so one person doesn't feel like they got the raw end of the deal, so to speak. Nashville hot chicken can be hot, or it can be as mild as you want. So it doesn't have to be super spicy. See, this happens too. See how there's like a little bit of that left on the edge. Now, if you did want to make a whole bunch, you could. We're using about 1.5 cups of brine. Now, by brined, brined is anything that has a vinegar to it. So you can use apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, white vinegar. We're using a pickle brine on this to make a more traditional Nashville chicken. And all pickle brine is the spices with vinegar, water, and sugar. So you use equal parts of vinegar and water when you make a brine. Okay, so now I'm gonna make some noise. We're gonna go ahead and kind of make the chicken all one thickness. So as you can see, this part here is a lot thicker than this down here. So the whole point of doing this is just to even it out. We're not gonna make it super thin like we were making a rolled up chicken, but we are going to flatten it. Now, if you wanted to put down, you know, plastic, you can, but there's no need. Okay, so one done. We're gonna open up our Ziploc bag. If you wanted to put them in a bowl, you could do that as well, but why not just put them in a bag? Okay, one down. just like that. And if you're having a bad day, this is a great way to get out your aggression. You say, honey, we're having chicken today. Voila. Okay, chicken is pounded. We've put all the chicken in the bag. Now this is the fancy part. Now, I'm using a pickle brine. I did put a little bit of sugar in the pickle brine. Obviously, you have to heat it up to melt the sugar. Sugar has to be melted to be absorbed into the chicken. But you could do that ahead of time, or you can buy a pickle brine that already has it. You could also use any brine that's on any pepper. So you know how you buy the jarred jalapeno peppers, any of those, you could use that brine as well. But we're simply going to dump that in there. Get all this. And zip it up. Now you want to get the air out as much as possible. And then we're going to give it a good twist. Make sure we get all of that in there. This is going to go in the refrigerator. It's not going to sit on the counter. It's going to go in the refrigerator for 1 hour, and then you're going to have the moistest, most wonderful chicken when we get this all done. I'm going to get everything ready to get our chicken breaded. Once it has been marinating for an hour, we're going to put this in the fridge. All right, our chicken has been brining for an hour. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get everything ready, including turning on our stove. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the skillet on. We want it pretty hot. And I do have just some olive oil in there. Okay, so what are we gonna do first? First, we are going to make our buttermilk. Buttermilk is simply whole milk. So I have a cup of whole milk. And to that, we are adding some white vinegar. And that is a tablespoon of white vinegar to the milk. And we're simply letting that sit. Now, to this, we are adding about a quarter cup to a third of a cup of hot sauce. You can use whatever kind you want. For this, I used Frank's Red Hot, but you could use Tabasco, or if there's another brand that you really like. Also, if you want it spicier, there's two ways you can make it spicier. You could add something really spicy here that's a liquid, or when we make the flour dredge in just a second, you could add like some ghost pepper ground in that as well, and it would be super hot. Okay, so this is ready to go. Let's make our flour dredge. So we have a cup of all-purpose flour here. To that, I am adding some Creole seasoning. Now this is got a whole bunch of stuff already in it. This is a tablespoon of Creole seasoning. And they sell it like it's called Creole or Cajun. This is a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of paprika and a half a teaspoon of salt, additional salt. There is salt in the Creole as well. Okay, so we are going to give this a quick stir. Just to get it all mixed up. And you can see how your flour turned like a really nice, I don't know what color you'd call that, but it warms it up. It doesn't make it look like it's red or anything, but you can see how it's a different color. Okay, we're gonna give our buttermilk a stir. Now you could buy buttermilk from the store, but you saw how easy that was. And buttermilk is simply curdled milk. That's not bad. Okay, now our chicken. We are not going to be obviously using the brine that we put it in. So one by one, we're gonna take our pieces of chicken out and rinse them off. And then give it a good pat down just to get that extra water off it. Okay, so when you're doing Nashville hot chicken, you're doing a double dip. I know your mom might have told you not to double dip, or maybe your dad, but in this, you get to double dip. So we're dipping it in the flour dredge first. Then we're putting it in our hot milk bath. Get it all in there. Then we put it back in the flour. And this will make it really crispy on the outside if we... There we go. Now this one is ready for the skillet. Let's check and see if our oil is hot. You can always check that by splashing some water. If you hear it sizzle, it's hot. Okay, so while that one's going, let's get our other ones done. Remember, rinse the brine. Get the excess water off. Put it in the flour. And if you run out of flour, just make more flour mix, because it looks like I might not have made enough this time, or I can just cook 2 of them now and cook the other one later. Put it in the milk bath. Get that guy over here. Put it in the flour. My chicken breasts are quite large too. If you have really big ones like this, sometimes I cut them into, I wouldn't say bite-sized pieces, but smaller chunks. Okay. So the first one that we stuck in here, you can see it's nice and crispy. We're gonna go ahead and give that a flip. This other one's gonna need a few more minutes. Okay, our chicken is almost done, so we're gonna go ahead and get it out of here and put it on our plate. This is a giant piece of chicken. We should have definitely cut these into smaller pieces. But it is what it is. All right, so now it's time for the big reveal. We get to eat. So obviously, a Nashville chicken is normally served into a sandwich. Put mine on a nice bun with a little bit of crisp lettuce, some mustard, and of course, pickle, right? That's a good sandwich. I hope you enjoyed Nashville Hot Chicken with Rochelle. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.